You should be able to hear me now. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the chat room. If you can hear me now in the chat room, let me know. Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat room if you can hear me. You should be able to hear me now.
30 hertz straight up.
Loud and clear. That's what I want to hear. Come on. Be back. Got to reboot this. Understand. You should be able to hear me loud and clear down. It's all in place. Got to reboot your system. So what is the thinking class? What is TTC? It's the thinking class. It is the thinking class. We are the class of people who think, who use our reasoning, who use our logic on multiple levels, on the spiritual level, on the emotional level, and on the physical level. We are the thinking class. We think, we reason. It was birthed out of the people responding to what was being taught. And I, out of inspiration, said what? This is the what? Thinking class. Let me say that again. The thinking class was birthed out of what? People responding to what was being said. And they begin to use intelligent conversation. And that inspired me to say what?
30 hertz straight
It is
up.
what? The thinking class. People who think, who reason, who reason in the spirit, who reason on the mental, who reason on the physical. They're able to think and reason. Doesn't mean that you don't have emotions, that you don't get emotional, but you're thinking on a whole different level than everyone else. And one of our models is, and Joe Blast is going to put it in there, if you're not thinking, you need to think and you need to move your, Joe Blast will put it in there, the enforcer will put it in there. You got to think and move your, y'all already know what I'm going to say. You got to think and move your, you know what? Because it is one people get stuck in just thinking without doing anything. There got to be a combination of what? You got to move your, you know what, your assets. You got to move your assets. So the thinking class was birthed out of the comments from the people who participate in what we're doing. It was not something, I just one day I did decide I'm just going to call it a thinking class. No, you got to, there you got it. There we go. They already know it. Move your AS. There you go. You got to move your, there it is. They already know. Think and move your ASS. Come on. There you go. You already know it. You got to what? Think and move your, you got to move. And I think a lot of people get too caught thinking. And then some people get so much moving their butt that they don't move their, you already know. Everybody give a warm welcome to Reigning Woman. Let's get it. It's Thursday. John will be here in a second. Let's get it. Everybody give a shout out to Reigning Woman. Show her some love. Show her some love up in here. You know how we do it. This is the thinking class. There's none like it in the world. We're not just local. We're not just national. We are international. We're in different continents. Let's get it. Come on. We're the thinking class. And I want everybody to realize it's the thinking class. Let me give you the right link, my dude. I don't know what happened. Yeah, this is the what? The thinking class. Waiting on Jono. We up in here, baby. I'm gonna get him the right link. 1 second. 1 second, Jono. I'm gonna get you the right link. While we doing this, we getting ready. Everybody get ready to do the teaching. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Don't lose, don't get it. We gotta get you ready. Everybody give Brandon Woman a shout out. Let her know that she's welcome here. Let her know she's welcome here. That's how we do it. Let her know that she's welcome here at the thinking class. The internet running a little slow today. I don't know what's up with that. It could be just my computer. Let me get this to you, bro. Don't know what's going on. Allowed. It's all good. Everything working in the way it needs to be. Y'all give Sora some love up in here. This is the thinking class. 1 second, I gotta update something that is happening at the same time. All right, here we go. I think I sent the right one. Here we go. Here we go. Oh shoot, I sent it to the wrong person. Jesus Christ. I did not mean to do that. Who has been one of those good days? All right, here we go. Boy. Show her some love. All right, we're about to get going. I sent the link to the 2 times to the wrong person. Let me put the camera up. Salute to everybody. Salute to the thinking class. We are live and direct. Apologize about the delay. What we're going to talk about today is what? Looking from the spirit. Y'all showed us some love. Good. That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to talk about looking from the spirit, the spiritual side of the game. Let me drop this music right quick. Looking from what? Looking from the spirit. This makes my heart and spirit smile. Sending full rain love and energy all that can be. She's sending love to everyone in there. That's what we do here. But we're going to talk about looking from the spirit. Looking from the spirit. I think I sent the link. Hopefully John got it. I sent it to 2 people the wrong. Sent the wrong link to someone else before. See if we got it. Looking from the spirit. So let me drop the music and drop this down a little bit. So looking from the spirit. We realize that when we're talking about the spiritual side of the game, you cannot, how can I say this? You cannot talk about the spiritual side of the game. You cannot talk about the spiritual side of the game if you're not looking from the spirit. Yeah, right. We're doing live all day. Right. You cannot, how can I say this? You cannot talk about the spiritual side of the game if you're not looking from the spirit. And what does it mean to look from the spirit? That means you're looking from a point of view that others don't see. Let me say that again. When you're looking from the spirit, you're looking from a point of view. It ain't easy. Looking from a point of view that what? The others can't see. That means you're seeing things, you're discerning things, you're picking up things, you're seeing things before they happen from the spirit side, from a different point of view. Why are we seeing that? Because the spiritual side of the game gives you, as we talked about, what? Gives you what? The vantage point to solve problems, to get strategies that most people won't get. So that's why the thinking class is so important. But the spiritual side of the game is to get you to see from a different point of view. If we can get you to see from a different point of view where your emotions are at peace, where you're at peace in your body, and you begin to see from the spirit, you now you have what? Night vision in everyone else's darkness in their emotions or in their flesh. Let me say that again. You begin to get what? Night vision. What's going on? So you begin to get night vision while everyone else is in darkness. So it's almost like the Matrix. So we're not talking particularly about the pill, red pill, blue pill, little pill, green pill, and all like that. No, we're saying that if we can get you to plug into the spirit and get your night vision while everyone is sleepwalking through life, you're actually plugged in and you're able to see in the spirit and see things before they happen, as they happen, and you get to see people's true motives and intentions. That's why the spiritual side of the game is important. What's going on, bro?
Everything good?
Yeah, man, there's a little mix up. I sent it to the wrong person 2 times. Send the link to one person, then I sent it to somebody else. I know he looking like, what are you doing, bro?
You good?
But you know what? I'm here. But like I was saying, so the spiritual side of the game is being able to look from the spirit and discern and to see and to move and it's almost like having night vision while everyone is in the dark. You're able to walk around and move with clarity. What's going on, Trav? With no problems. So I think a lot of times when it comes to the spiritual side of the game, you're able to see, how can I say it, people's intentions and motives and where they're coming from. When you have the spiritual side of the game in place, and guess what happens? It gives you a vantage point when you're dealing with what? Others. And most of all, it should give you a vantage point when you're dealing with you.
Exactly. If you know who you attracted towards you have the same spirit. So what happens is you know how these people are going to move, and you can discern what's going to happen.
Yep. And see, when you have the spiritual vision, or you're able to see in the spirit, speak from the spirit. Actually, wow, you said attraction, right?
Yeah.
You begin to attract people into your life, and you'll be able to see clearly where they're coming from.
Yeah, we only meet ourselves when we are dealing with people. So even if you're a family member, even if you have friends, even if you have acquaintance that you want to get with, the level of attraction that drew you to them, there was a subliminal or subline attraction within the spirit that you guys have. You can use that connection to discern what's going to happen or how they're going to react when something happens.
There you go. So yeah, it reveals beforehand. Now we're not talking about you conjuring up things and no. We're talking about actually seeing directly in the spirit, and you able to see. Like today, man, I'm gonna tell you, I went walking today. A nice day here in Cleveland, Ohio. Went walking at Euclid Creek. Went walking up the trail. Well, before I was getting to walk, I got the car, seen the pastor. What's up, man? How you doing? I said, well, how you doing, Pastor? You know what he said? I've been watching what you're doing on Facebook. I said, for real? He said, yeah, man, keep up the good work. You doing it how you're doing it. Shout out to Pastor McCurry.
That's awesome.
So you never know who's watching and what you're doing. But if I would not paying attention, if my spirit would have been closed and I would have been locked up in my emotions, if I would have been just anywhere, I would have missed the opportunity to connect, to hear a word that I needed to hear.
Exactly. That's what you always heard the term, God gave you 2 ears so you could listen twice as much, and only 1 mouth so you can talk less.
Right. And then they dropped something on me, man. So it was 2 pastors, man. You know how pastors be trying to double team you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to him, shooting the breeze, and he's telling me that he has been watching. The other pastor comes up, was the apostle came up, and he said something. He said, persecution comes before promotion.
Mm.
I said, what you say? He said, persecution becomes before promotion. He said, if you're getting persecuted, promotion is at the door.
It's true. You can't graduate until you get the test.
Y'all, but somebody needed to hear that. If you're getting persecuted, and he just jumped in the conversation, you know, I just come in, he immediately got into the spirit, went boom, said persecution, said the more that Jesus got persecuted, what? The greater the fame of who he was and what he did went around Judea and, you know, everywhere else where he was kicking it at, around his hood.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody needed to hear that. Somebody need, and I'm, dude, man, I just happen to show up and be right there, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I said, what? The greater the persecution, the avenue, the promotion is at actually the persecution and the promotion are almost like two sides of the coin, two different sides of the coin. You're getting persecuted, promotion is here.
It's true. It's right around. It's right around the corner. It's like you're going for a race and you know where the finish line is, but right before the finish line, you got that last test, that last corner you got to make it through, and then when you get past that corner, you hit the straightaway to the finish line.
So can you? Somebody need to hear this. So can you stand the persecution? And the persecution, that means somebody coming after you and all like that, somebody pinching you a thousand times. No, it is when you realize that's happening is can you, like you said, can you pass it? But it's to get you to your promotion. If I can get you to your promotion, guess what? Like you said, you begin to turn the tassel. My son about to graduate next month, and I'm proud about it. Thank you, Jesus. The last of the Mohicans. He graduating. It's to get you to your next level. And what happens is people don't want to deal, they want the promotion, but they don't want to do the test. We're talking about the spiritual side of the game. This is still the spiritual side of the game.
Absolutely. You have to establish things right and you have to end things right. And what happens is we always talk about giving because it's the easiest way to have a safe passage, but you have to make sure that even when you're in the middle of the test, you see the end. When you see the end, even if you're on a very rough road to get to the end, that is your test because your promotion is on the way right after.
Think about it. Think about this, man. You know, when you said that, it just hit me. And True Sabbath put it. You know what happens? No basketball team can go to the playoffs unless they first be tested to see if they're worthy of going to the playoffs. Then when they get to the playoff, they pay the best of the best so that they can what? Say who gets to be the champion of that year.
It's true. And the champion is tested the most. Think about it. They have to make it through every season game. They have to make it to the playoffs. They have to pay everybody in the East or West Conference. You got to go through rigorous tests all along the way to get to the final games. And even then, it's 7 more games. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Potential for 7 games.
Right. So you got to realize, the seeing from the spiritual side, you got to realize if you don't have the right spiritual vision, what's going to happen is you'll look at the persecution the wrong way and say, I'm the hell with this. That ain't what I really wanted to say. The French toast with this, I'm out. I'm out of this, and miss your promotion on the other side of it.
Yeah. We have to really be cognizant of that. You know, sometimes the reward or the promotion is right around the corner, like we just said. But you're stuck at the hardest part of the test. But you just gotta make it. When you think it's the hardest, when you think it's the worst it could possibly be, the reward might be right behind that last obstacle. So push through. You made it this far. If you made it this far, keep going. Don't give up.
Let me say something too, man, because this is good. When you said that, man, it just stirred up in me. I didn't know Pastor McCurry was watching. He's watching from the clouds. I didn't know he was watching. So how does this tie into what he said to the spiritual side of the game? Sometimes people watch from the clouds to see how you have no persecution, so they can what? Congratulate you on your promotion.
Yeah.
How some people will never say anything. Not saying that, Tim. But you got to realize you never know who's watching you and what you're saying and what you're doing.
You never know where your influence is going to touch. You never know how one action that you make could affect many degrees of people. There's several people watching here. There's other people that's going to watch the replays. You have a potential of touching 100, 200 people in this current state. And what happens is, beyond that point, you can reach thousands of people with the message because they're going to tell somebody else. So that's why your responsibility level has to be high. Your responsibility, the burden is heavy. So you got to make sure you show people you're willing to stay in the game. Stay in the game and win.
Right. Because someone is, it ain't about, John, man, it ain't about us, dude. So I listened to the Kevin Samuels and Tasha K interview. I didn't listen to all, I listened to a majority of it. One thing I realized, we're all human.
Yeah.
We're flawed.
Sometimes the delivery is not going to be pretty.
Whoa. Hold up. Say that again.
Sometimes the delivery is not going to be pretty. I know he's under a lot of scrutiny right now, but look, he's getting a reward for something that should be cancel culture. He's getting a reward. That's the example. That's the example of sticking to what you believe. I'm not saying I agree with everything he's saying. I probably disagree with some of it, but he's sticking to it. He's sticking to the method, not just the message. He's sticking to the method. And sometimes you got to come across your method because Spirit or God told you inside you how to behave so you can get the results you're looking for. And he's getting a certain result, and we can't ignore it. I think he's about to hit about 1 million people. I'm pretty sure if he didn't do it yet, he's going to do it very soon. That's a momentous achievement. He didn't have 500,000 when I started looking at him maybe 2-3 months ago.
But what did he receive all this time? Scrutiny and persecution. Y'all better look what's really going on. Look what's really going on. That's it. The message and not the messenger. Y'all better look what's really going on. He's a classic example, modern day example right in front of you.
Yeah. You know what else I'm seeing?
What's that?
I'm going to name everybody. Not everybody doing the same thing, but some content creators talking a lot of smack, and then all of a sudden he's going to do an interview with them, and all of a sudden they clean up their act like, oh, I agree with you. Everything's right. Everything you say is right, blah, blah, blah. Even Efron said he agrees with him, but he's making fun of him, but he agrees with him. He said the message is clear.
Right. So you got to think while you're boiling or while you're in the fire, as three guys were in the fire and then the fourth one showed up and they pulled out, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Their promotion is not outside of the fire, but it's when you get in the fire and you come out as what? Pure gold.
Exactly. In order to get the iron ore to be extracted from the gold, you have to be stuck in the fire. Okay? In order to get the flavor from a tea leaf, you have to dip it in some hot water. Can you be dipped in some hot water to get the best out of you?
That's what they do with olives, don't they? Don't they crush them?
They have to be pressed. They have to be pressed down in order to extract the precious oil.
This is for somebody. This is for somebody who needs to hear this. There's no, I just happened to be at the same time Pastor McCurry and Apostle Nelson was there to give me what they gave me. Now I got to give to you guys. But this is for someone.
It's the great transfer.
Yeah.
About that. The circle has to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody poured into you, you got to pour into them. The next person. And then when they see that witnessed example, they'll get their return too. As soon as you give to somebody else, they get theirs. Get it?
Say that again, because that's an equation I don't think everybody get.
As soon as you give it away, what somebody gave you, they get theirs. The circular return occurs right at that moment. They get leveled up. It's like we all get leveled up at the same time. You remember we played Super Mario back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
You found the mushroom. Yep, you got one up. Exactly. That's what you get, the one up. You get the one up as soon as you give it away. And the person who gave it to you, they get a one up too. It's like a pyramid scheme. Only God's involved, so it can't be. It's not a trick. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Oh wow, I like that. But someone needed a turtle won't lose his direction. Dude, the thinking class is thinking. Somebody needed to hear that because they're in a place right now and they're being pressed. It's like persecution. And then I don't really like talking on like that kind of stuff, but you're in that place. But if you can see from the spiritual side of the game, the spiritual side, the reward that we see for you, you be like, you know what? That's too old. I got to think of a modern song. I thought of a what is his name? Curtis Mayfield. Keep on trucking. You got to keep on trucking through what you're going through.
Yeah. Like I actually felt somebody just saying, I'm between a rock and a hard place. And that place is supposed to be extracting something out of you. Not your money, not your time, not your tears. It's supposed to be extracting the answer. And if you see it that way, you'll get the answer. Stop thinking you're just under pressure because life is trying to make you pay some penance for something in your past. What you need to be thinking about is getting the answer out. The more pressure gets put on you is because you're supposed to be coming up with the answer. And if you don't get to the answer, you're to keep getting pressed.
Wait a minute. Didn't Raining Woman came here at the last minute yesterday and she said she was in a cocoon? Cocoon mom?
Yeah.
In the cocoon mom, you're wrapped up so that you can what? Transform.
Exactly.
You
ever heard the term swaddle?
No, go ahead.
Swaddle is what you do to a baby, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Keep them from scratching their face with their nails or whatever. It keeps their arms to the side. It keeps them immobile. But they're growing in that period. And at some point, the swaddling won't work at all because they're going to find a way to work their way out. But they're in that period that they are in that area. It's like being in a cocoon, just like the caterpillar. The caterpillar gets to the cocoon stage, and the cocoon stage develops the next stage of their life. And sometimes when you're wrapped up with things and you're stressed down and held down, pressured up, guess what? You're about to birth into the next version of you. Now you could choose what that season is like. Are you gonna let it be the stressful thing you reflect back on and say, "Oh, this was so bad, everything's so horrible in my life," or you could say, "Look what I learned during this stressful period of my life, but I'm blessed, not stressed."
Sister, why? Dude, man, do you know what we're dealing with? Check out the master. Actually, check out the master. I understand what we're doing right here. You guys are catching it. Uh,
But see, if you trusted spirit, which is what we're talking about all week, if you trusted the spiritual side of the game, you wouldn't be worried about the physical. You wouldn't be worrying about the circumstances. You wouldn't be worrying about the tribulations. You wouldn't be worrying about what's trying to kick you literally in the behind. You would see it as a challenge, not a tragedy.
oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's good. That's good.
Okay? A challenge to be overcome. I remember when we were talking with in meetings that we used to have back in the day.
What
We
was it?
used to say,
Was it?
what are your challenges? We never said what's your problems. These are not problems. They're challenges. And you're supposed to overcome them. Don't talk to me about problems without a solution. Because a problem that doesn't have a potential solution is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Challenges get solutions.
10
Don't
call. That's
you
what
don't
it was.
present your situations as problems. Present them as challenges so that you can have a pathway for the solution.
10 call. That's what it was. I remember. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Now, if you didn't get your work done, there had to be a reason, right?
Yeah.
What were your challenges?
Yeah. And you had to come with an answer.
You know what used to take me off the most when people go like this. He was the problem. They were the problem. That was the problem. They never went within.
Mm.
They never went within. They
Mm.
never took the lesson of having the opportunity to reflect on the problems for themselves. And it used to eat me up because we would look at it and say, you know what? This could be a real teachable moment. But you decide to pass the buck. And guess what? You put that stress on someone else. Guess what? They got the blessing and you missed it. You're
Mm.
doomed to repeat it.
Dude, and you know what the reality of it is? When those situations happen, you see the other person get a blessing.
Exactly. They didn't get stressed out more. They didn't take it wasn't like a big load of responsibility dumped on them and all of a sudden they checked out of here. No, they took it. They took it in stride. Because you know what? The buck stops here. Ultimately, it is their responsibility if somebody felt it had to be. If you step up to the plate, you'll get the reward and the answer to the challenge, and you'll be able to move on. But that other person, the only thing they learned was pass it, pass it, pass it, pass it, pass it. Nah, forget that. Learn to take responsibility. You'll get further down the road. You'll get much more out of the situation than you were thinking.
That's why what we teach over here, the gospel of what? Responsibility.
Exactly.
Gospel responsibility. You ain't heard it nowhere else. So I gotta make it clear. You can everybody can use it, but just want to know where where it came from. There's only one custom pastor, and we are the only ones using the gospel of responsibility. Anyway, anyway. I understand spiritual for, and I see a lot of things coming down the pipe that the old spiritual me has yet to mature for. Yet Yah favors me and seek his power. Right. That's why you're in the spiritual side of the game over here and you're listening. Understand what we're doing. The spiritual side of the game is to push you on the spiritual side past your persecution into your what? Promotion.
Knowing that spirit exists is a better example of how to trust and believe in the process. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you know, we talked about oxygen the other day. You don't see it, you can't touch it, you can't feel it, but somehow this substance that's in the air is keeping you alive. That's the faith and the belief you got to have in certain processes. And by believing in the spiritual side of it, it will connect you with the answer much faster because you already understand it's done. You already understand you're on a path. It's like you're on rails, not a winding road looking for the pivot we were talking about before, but you're actually on rails and you're going in the right direction. You will get to the destination.
Wait a minute, Jono. Maybe think I thought of UTFO. Song Roxanne saying, they don't need a guy like me. They need a guy like you with a high IQ. Anyway, that's a little sidetrack, but wait a minute. Could it be? Some people are on dial up to the spirit and not on 5G to the spirit. Could that be?
Yeah, your connection may not be at the right speed.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So the information you're getting is taking longer than what it needs to be because you're on the wrong frequency. Somebody, that's for somebody.
Maybe you were on a wrong track that you weren't supposed to be on. Maybe you're on the same track that you failed on, and you're trying to repeat the same results. We know that that is clinical insanity. You should not be trying to get things done with the same way. Some of y'all still in 1995 with a 56K modem. When there's fiber optic for $40 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Choose your speed. Because I'm sure there's somebody out there willing to pay the money for the 56K connection, paying the same money you are.
Do you understand what we're saying? The spiritual side of the game. We want you to make sure that you have the most premium connection to the spirit because it's going to put you head and toes above everyone else. That's the reason why I address this as the thinking class.
You hear something funny? It's the same distance to the central office.
Whoa.
You got the same distance. You experienced this yourself, right? Your
Yep.
DSL was the same distance to the central office as your new connection was to the other central office, right?
Right.
But somehow the speed is 20 times faster. Why? Because you recognized that a new opportunity was available and you jumped on a different track.
That's
You're
right.
going the same distance and you're paying the same money. But now you have 20 times the service because you went inside and said, this just can't be. It has to be better than this. You challenged yourself to get the solution, and now you have it.
Whoa. That's good right there.
You're going the same distance, the same money. But how do you get 20 times faster? Because you asked. Because you asked the universe for a solution, and the universe said, yeah, you go faster.
Are you asking the right questions to get the right solutions?
It's true. Do you even understand the potential is right inside your head? Sometimes I'll be thinking like, there's got to be something out there that does this. All of a sudden, I go search for it. It's there. Now, was it there before I asked? That's the real question. Did it exist before I asked? And maybe the idea for me to want it at a certain time was in alignment with the time of its availability. Because there's some things that I wanted 7 years ago that I knew were not going to be available. But then I never asked the question. Then when I start asking the question, it's available. The software technology may have been just out in the last month or two. Like, wow, how did my mind remember that it was time? And all of a sudden, the solution was right right there in the search bar. And this is something from a day long ago. You have to understand, sometimes you created it that day. It may have taken that time to get to fruition, but you created that day and it put the thought out in the universe. Somebody put up the solution so you can benefit from it. And I've seen this over a 20-year span. I've seen this over a 7-year span. And I've seen it within minutes.
Right.
Just like when the student's ready to learn, the teacher appears. When you're ready to get the answer, the solution appears. Sometimes the question has to come up way before the thought. Can this happen? Is this possible? Do I have the right lights? Do I have the right camera? Do I have the right mixer? Do I have the right monitor? You start thinking all these things in your head, like, why am I questioning all this? All of a sudden, the pieces start coming at you like puzzle. It's like, wait a minute, put this right here. Like Tetris. Remember how Tetris, the pieces will come down? You gotta shape it every time. The way it comes down, you're like, what's the meaning of all this? We don't know. All of a sudden, after you get 4 rows of bars, and you get that last Tetris in there, boom. Now it all makes sense what that shape was. The shape was to eliminate something all at once. Sometimes the pieces come to you in dribs and drabs, and we don't know why. But then all of a sudden, boom, everything I've been building came to this conclusion. And now you have the perfect med kit to take care of it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. One of my cars, I had a major problem the other day. It was like sputtering, didn't know what was going on. I was trying to get it back on the road. I just did some paperwork for the car, and I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna just start driving the car. I was like, look at this. As soon as I get the paperwork, now the car itself want to start acting up. And I said, I'm gonna have to get the car towed. Do I have to get my AAA involved? Everything. I'm like, listen, I put out there in the universe how much I wanted to pay. It was a crazy amount. I said, this thing better not cost me more than $30. So I pick up the phone, start taking, checking levels, or maybe something wrong with the oil. I don't know what it was. Start checking fluid. I go down to AutoZone. Guess how much the oil was?
How much?
It was $30.
See?
It was $30.
$30.
It was $30. I didn't know how much this oil was gonna be. I didn't know how much I was gonna need. Now, this car is kind of unique. It takes 11 quarts of oil, but the exact amount that was missing was $30 worth. Full synthetic. I put the oil in there myself. The car evened out.
$30.
Still had to get some batteries issues because I felt like I had to charge it, but it wasn't like moving right. So I called up my mechanic. Take it down to him. He says, "You know what? I'm gonna give you a fresh charge. We're gonna send the battery out to a specialist. Give it a good slow charge. Make sure check all the cells, everything." Calls me back the next day. Guess how much he told me the charge was?
Oh.
$30. Tell me what mechanic you call up.
And it's gonna be. I gotta
tell someone gonna be $30. Then
I gonna catch it. Somebody gonna catch it.
I'm telling you, I named it though, right?
Right.
I named it. Then I go on eBay because it's a part. While we were fiddling around there, it's a part that got damaged on the inside of the car. He said, "Oh, okay, found the part number." You got one on eBay. One of them, just one. It said, "Buy now." Guess how much the part was? $30. What car part you know that you got to stick to the side of the car? Cost $30. You know it's like hundreds of dollars. Always some crazy price for a piece of molding. But you know what? I said, whatever this is, it had to be $30, and that's what it was.
Somebody better catch it.
I'm telling you.
So what you're saying is, if we go right back, it traces back what I was saying right before you came on. The spiritual side of the game is to have spiritual vision or to see in the spirit. You were able to see and name what you wanted to happen in the spirit, and it manifested in the natural because you named it. And guess what happened? It was what you named it.
Yeah, but we have to realize, though, which is why I still say we got to kick our own behind because of this, all right? I didn't do it till I got under pressure.
Whoa.
Why can't you do this in your planning? If you would have did this in your planning, you would have never had the problem. If we were concentrating on things being well in the first place, instead of doing damage control and firefighting, guess what? We wouldn't have had the problem in the first place. But then when you're put under pressure to go within and call it something, the result comes out. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. You have control over this. Remember in Avengers? How was Hulk able to control himself?
I didn't see that. I didn't see all of it. I didn't watch that. Sorry.
Okay, so Hulk, he turns in, Bruce Banner turns into Hulk, right? This is a fictitious thing. This is not the spirit, but it's an analogy I'm trying to make. He turns into Hulk because you think you get him mad or you get him angry. You heard that for years, right?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Okay, so in one of the Avengers movies, they said, "Well, how do you get to stay so calm? And how do you get yourself to not turn into the Hulk? You can be a danger to yourself and danger to others." And he says, "My secret is I'm always angry, and you just never know it." So
That's real.
sometimes you have to be the answer, whether you're under stress or not.
Mm,
Are you under stress? Yes. Put yourself under the pressure so that you don't have to have it surprise you.
mm,
Challenge yourself. If you're not feeling challenged, life's going to challenge you. But guess what? If you were challenging yourself, life wouldn't feel like they have to test you. You put yourself under the test. You put yourself under the scrutiny. You put yourself under a level. See, people have standards, right? You know, the guy who has the bike is looking at the guy that has a skateboard and says, "Well, I got a bike. It's not my standard to have the skateboard." You see what I'm saying? But then somebody who has the car is looking at the guy at the bike saying, I want to have that bike because my standard is the car. My car, the guy with the car, he may have a Honda Accord, but then there's a guy who rolls up in a Benz. He's going to say, well, my standard is not the Accord. So there's different standards for everybody. There's different levels where people think they are leveled up at. And what happens is you have to choose where you think your lane really is. And if you're not there, you should be challenging yourself, not sitting here being envious or jealous of somebody else's crap. You should be dealing with your own crap. You should be your own competition. You should be your own critic. And if you were doing that to yourself more often, that's why the way you know you're doing it right for yourself is when people are always impressed by what you do and they're not trying to tell you that something's wrong about your situation. When you got somebody always coming around trying to correct you, say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do. Wait, what kind of aura am I giving off? I'm not handling my own business. Can you handle your own business? Because if you look like you're handling your own business, ain't nobody gonna talk to you about your business. You won't even have to say, mind your business.
mm.
Put that into perspective the next time you think about what's going on. You should be lighting a fire under your own, somebody put in the chat room, your own.
Come on, put it. You should be lighting the fire under your own. Come on, Joe. Where you at, Joe? We need you to put it. You the enforcer. You know what? You should be lighting a fire under your own.
There shouldn't be nobody in your life telling you what to do because they see something slacking off or being lazy or being, you know, what you call it, basically just unproductive. The point is you are supposed to be doing it for yourself. And if you don't do it for yourself, you will always see yourself being outpaced by people and you'll become the person in the stands, the person in the bleachers, instead of being in the game.
Your greatest competition is you. It's the old version of you.
I've seen people with Rolls Royces, private planes, all stuff. I never was like, yo, I want their stuff. Why I don't have it? Never said that. I always looked at my own lane and say, when are you going to get the next version of what you were looking for in your operation, in your camp?
Dude, do we ride? Yeah, we rode together in the Rolls Royce.
Of course. I think it's a nice car.
Yeah, we rode together.
Probably might get one day.
Yeah.
I don't see that outside of my potential. But I know that wouldn't look right. You know, a $500,000 car don't look right in front of a $500,000 house. Because somebody's gonna say, wait, you bought this depreciated item, that matches the amount of your your asset. What kind of dumb financial move is that? And I'm not looking for anybody's approval. I'm not. But what I know in my head is I would never make a move like that until I leveled everything up. Your whole life has to be leveled up. That Rolls Royce needs to match the several houses you have and investment properties that pay for it without ever stressing you out. So you can buy a depreciating item at that level and it never touches your real money.
Like our one friend or one person we know, what did he do? He bought 2 Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
And then one paid for the other one.
Yeah. And then see, that's the thing. We also know somebody who gave one away because he wanted to have a safe passage.
Whoa, wait. Let's slow down. They got to catch this. Say it slow because I know who it is.
He never had a Rolls Royce before. He had many luxury cars. He never had a Rolls Royce before. And this one, when that was coming out, was going to be like the first in many years. And what he did was he bought 2 of them and he gave one away so that he knew he solidified the passage of the second car.
Wait a minute.
And it's not because he just could buy 2 Rolls Royces. He could have bought 2 Rolls Royces, gave one to his wife, and he could have had the other one. No, what he wanted to do was give it away because he knew that was the right thing to do. That's what Spirit told him to do. That's not for everybody. We don't know why he did it. I watched him do this in many situations. You know what? It solidified. It didn't pay for that day because that day you can afford it. It paid for a day he couldn't afford. It paid for a day when there was going to be trial and tribulation in his life. And guess what? It stood in the gap because you sold. You put yourself in a position of making sure that all that stuff was already a future issue is now paid for, not 2 things at the same time. Get it? You may have paid for 2 things at the same time because you could, but you were paying for a future thing you couldn't pay for. And you did it by blessing somebody who was fertile ground. And that's why the examples I was talking to you about last week, that's why you got to do stuff like that. I know it sounds crazy. I do that shit all the time. Excuse my language. I do that all the time. I put myself in a position where I overgave or over-delivered so that there's a day that I may be protected that I don't know about. And then there won't be any question.
He gave away a Rolls Royce. Some people have a hard time giving away $1.
They want something for it. That's the thing. Your unconditional gift is what stands in the gap, not your expectation of the return. You expect a return because you name it, not because you want somebody to guarantee the return of your money. You know, like you don't go to the restaurant with your $25 and say, "What's my $25 going to get me?" No, what you do is you go up there and say, you name it. You say, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, and I'm going to put this toward it. You don't go in there with the money first saying, what's my $25 get me? I want some too. You won't even like what you get because you looked at the money first. You looked at the answer. Money's the answer. It's not the question.
Y'all better catch that. Dude, man. You're on fire today. Let's get it. You gave a, what's the other person? They said, I woke up in a what? Woke up in a Bugatti. That person, I think they gave away something, didn't they?
I know Birdman gave away one.
Yeah. Y'all got to understand the dynamics of what we're talking about.
Sure.
Room, there you go.
That's exactly what I did. I don't know. So for me, what I have is suffice. But I do want an M1X chip laptop at some time. It's not even out yet. It hasn't been created. Matter of fact, Apple has not said that this laptop exists yet. I just know in my mind, based on the trend, that the M1X is going to be available, or maybe an M2. Okay, so why not give away a capable computer so that I can create a day that hasn't come yet? That's the whole point. I'm creating a day that hasn't come yet, and I want a safe passage to it. So giving that computer away was not a problem for me because at this particular moment, I have more than enough. But there's a day I may need that M1X or that M2. I don't know which one it's going to be. But when it comes into my hands, I'm not going to be surprised I got it.
Right. And you don't know how it will come.
I don't know how it's going to come. Matter of fact, I definitely don't know because the money ain't there. But somehow, giving away this one was part of the process.
Look what he said, man. There's so much gem. Your thinking class is thinking. This is a spiritual topic like the rich man who was speaking to Christ about obtaining the kingdom and what he had to do to obtain it. Correct. That's exactly. Could a camel go through a what? A hole of, I think it was a keyhole or something like that.
The eye of a needle.
Out of a needle, right. Please understand what we're giving, man. Please understand what we're doing. We actually,
when you trust the spiritual side of the game, you won't have a problem being a giver.
Whoa. Once you trust the spiritual side of the game, you have no problem being a gift. And you notice something? Think about something, John. Just when you say that something, let me drop the music. Hold on. You notice something. Now, gave on Mother's Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Persecution the following week.
Yeah, by a totally different source. Had nothing to do with it. Welcome it. You welcome it. Because you know why? The promotion's going to come right after. Especially since it didn't stress us out.
I heard Kevin say something last night. He was pushing, working, doing his thing. He did the interview with Tasha K. And he said it was one video.
Yeah.
One video that went viral that changed his.
Yeah. Once again, we may not like the messenger, but what you're looking for is the principle of what happened. She held out. I don't know how many years it took to get to that point. Guess what? That one video brought momentum for everything he had sold into. Think about it. All the videos that prior to that got momentum. Think about that.
That's for somebody. That's for somebody in this room.
For me.
Yeah. Me too. You know, I'm taking it too, bro. You are just one strategy.
One step away. You just got to make that step. The step that pushes you into the stratosphere.
I can hear it, I can almost taste and feel it. Because it's right there. Gave, persecution, ran into two pastors, double teaming with the word. For what?
It's close. It's seed time and harvest. Remember, the part in the middle says time. Okay, we're sowing seeds right now, right?
Right.
But there's time that's going to pass. That's when you deal with the seasons, right? And then harvest. Okay. So that's what K. Samuel's going through right now. He sowed seeds. Now is the time. You get it? The time.
Right. Time. Yeah.
The time is now elevating them, and then the harvest.
I gotta know how.
And he didn't change his message.
No.
He didn't change his message. The people still hating. Everybody's still pissed off. Everything, but he's elevating. You see what I'm saying? He didn't have to change. Like I said, don't agree with the message, but you got to look at the process. He was faithful to the process. Forget about his ability. He didn't have no ability.
They miss it because they're looking at the messenger and not the message. And the lesson right before your freaking eyes. I didn't think about that till you said, man. Gay, persecution, promotion. This is for if this has resonated with you on some level, let us know to put 30 in the chat room. 30. Because we gotta go, man. I'm hungry. I didn't get to eat nothing today. I'm hungry. Then I did a live on Instagram with Trav and Nelly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But if this really got to you, like, yo, LDA Jono, man, this was right on the money. I needed to hear this. This is me. We thought we might have been all over the place, but we're right on target. This is right. This is for someone. If y'all don't get it, it's for us, Jono, man. I'm gonna eat it. I got this. Table.
I need it right now. The spirit been challenging me, like, yo, you better find it. You better find this and find that. I've been trying to knock it out.
What we do, I'm open to receive. That's funny. You can be giving it out and still need to eat it.
I was supposed to be at a very short story. I was supposed to be at a DJ gig. It got canceled on me because of some personality crap. For some reason, I was still like, I was gonna, just brush it off, regroup, figure out what to do next, what my next steps are going to be. Then I got a call the same day that I was supposed to be out. I didn't go out. I said, "Oh, hey, you make tickets, right?" Yeah, I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I did want some tickets for somebody else." And remember, I told you those print jobs I was doing last month. All of a sudden, I need some tickets too. You bring them to me and say, "All right, cool. I'll print them out in one day, knock them out, go back out." All of a sudden, I'm in another conversation with another opportunity. You never know. You never know where it's going to come from. You got to be exposed to it. You have to expose yourself to it. And guess what the conversation came up from? My car.
Oh my God.
I happened to drive that car that night, and somebody made a comment about the car while I was dropping off the tickets.
And what if you?
I didn't know you were here. Oh, that's your car. Sorry, just shooting the crap, but all of a sudden, dipped into another opportunity. I don't know how much it will be. I don't know what it will be. I don't question it, but I'm glad that I put myself in the time and the place to receive that.
I'm open to receive.
You gotta go back and ask. Good thing I got the car up and running. Good thing, who knows? Why did I put that much time and energy into something I probably shouldn't have afforded at that time? No, there was a time and a place you didn't know about. You had to be prepared for it. If I was driving the other vehicle, it probably wouldn't have happened. Would not have happened. No, so I don't know. Sometimes the reason why the spirit is letting things happen is so that you can get to the next step in the process. You think the day is not chosen for you? I choose this day. Of course it's chosen. I want success. But there's a roadmap you don't know about. And you're led by the spirit. You got to do it. I didn't know that some free tickets I printed that day was going to push me into another idea. I wanted it. I was open to receive.
I'm open to receive. Y'all, this today, this is for this not just for just one people. This for a whole group of people. It's for
all of us.
Class.
For everybody, all of us.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah. Wrong way. I got to remember. You got to think. Yeah. Dude, I feel this one. Woo, the thinking class. Yep, there you go. That way.
You got an internal navigational system. You don't see the arrows, you don't hear the directions, but sometimes you're just being led by the spirit.
Whoa. Hold on. You see this right here? You won't believe this. Haven't heard from my father in 15 years. My aunt was trying to locate him due to my grandmother's illness. We just got the call and found his location. We need men to be men.
We were just talking to him on Friday. Remember? Was it last Friday?
Yeah, last Friday.
Look at that. That's the power of one card. Look at that.
Because he did that for his mother of his child. I was going to say the other word, but I ain't going to use that. Guess what happened?
Look at how the circular return. It pulled his father out.
From 15 years ago. What's 30 minus 15 is 15. 30 plus 30 is what? 15 plus 15 is 30.
See the gift he sowed? It pulled an answer out from an unlikely source. Y'all gotta catch this.
Wow, he said more healing.
Go back and watch. Everybody here need to go back and watch what happened on Friday. If you watch what happened on Friday, you will see this is almost a literal miracle.
It's crazy. His father out of what? 15 years. Hey, I'm gonna show it back up. Hey, what's up? His father comes back out. You gonna show up? Come on, man. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this. Can you make this up, Jono?
That sounds like a generational correction right there.
Why? Because Fierce Soul decided to do something that was unconventional for who? Son's mother, and it opened the door for his father to show up.
Jeez. Are you kidding me? Like, that's the praise right there. Come on.
Y'all don't get it. I'm supposed to be gone.
Oh my God. You got to catch this, people. You got to catch this.
And how did his wait a minute. Wait. How did it all happen the day before? Through his grandfather.
What? And we were just talking about that.
What was his grandfather's name?
David.
David.
Y'all gotta catch this. Y'all gotta catch this.
Crazy. My father's childhood friend, who is my grandmother's caretaker, just prayed over this yesterday, and we're looking for him. Crazy. We were looking for him. David was talking to who? Fierce Soul the day before. I mean, Wednesday. Wednesday, Alfie and Trav came on. It was Thursday. Friday, we talked to who? To Fierce Soul. And now here's what? Father shows up. Dre got it, man. Dre got it. Dre got it. What did Dre say? David brought it all together. And what does David in the Bible do? He is a praiser. From the tribe of what? I think it may be from the tribe of, I gotta look at tribe. I want to misquote that. I think it might be the tribe of, not Levi, but he's from the tribe. But you got to understand what's going on. This is too much. Wow. Real game, no theory, the spiritual side of the game.
It had to be spirit. It had to be spirit, because he may not even tuned in that day. Remember, he was working out with his son. Remember?
That's right.
He was working out with his son. He could have chose not to even join the broadcast. The spirit connected, and we were talking about spirit that day. Oh my God.
People don't get this. Your father, after 15 years, decided to what? Hey, I'm gonna show back up. And they were praying over it the day before that he would show up because your grandmother is sick. This is the spiritual side of the game that we've been talking about. What? At the beginning of the broadcast within 2 weeks now. Oh boy, they ain't ready for this, man. They ain't ready for this.
And they'll say, and all of your trouble.
They ain't ready for it, man. This is the spiritual side of the game. So anytime anybody want him, you think about it. You can't duplicate this.
Mm-mm. Favor is not fair.
Tomorrow is Friday, right? I guess Fierce Soul will be coming back up to tell us give us a report. That's exactly what's going to happen. True Savage, you coming, not True Savage, but Fierce Soul, you coming back, you got to give us a report. Because you know why? You can't make this up. You can't make this up. As much as we want to, we can't. I got to go too, man. I got to go.
I know it's spirit. You know why?
Why?
Because it happened right within our realm, right within our tribe.
Yep. Listen.
Because the tribe had to see something that would manifest from what we were talking about, and it happened.
Listen.
That's how you know it's not a copy. That's how you know it's not a copy. It's because it will manifest without our energy. We didn't have to do anything. A copy, a bad copy, would definitely have fell to the ground. This manifested within the group and showed us what we need to see.
Y'all better catch this. Let me give a reigning woman. I got to get these comments. We got to go. Listen, let the whole thing go full circle. Forgive, release your father from any pain or that happened with y'all during the 15 years, and let him know that you released him from any guilt and hard feelings. Come on. Thinking, class, in motion. Fear, soul, meditation is required. There are more fruit to bear from this discovery. Believe that. True Savage, thank you so much. He's saying real talk. Now that's a swift update. Let nothing stand in the way of your father's getting to God. Fear soul. Wow. Woo! Y'all started again, man. I'm trying to go, man. I will be meditating a lot more than just my time exercise in the gym.
Exactly. You're exercising your mind. Exercising your spirit from within.
David showed up on one day. And now your father showed up on the next. We could have talked about anything else this course of this week.
Spirit said to keep spirit going. Now the spirit's showing up.
Right on Thursday for Friday. Just if y'all don't think this ain't, come on. And we deal with raw power. Imagine if this was structured discipline. Right. Rain Ramen, why I will. And that is so deep. Come on. This is for somebody. It's not just because his father's showing up. This is for somebody else's fathers who need to show up. What? There you go. There you go, Sigma. What? I'm already open to receive. To receive. We all did. This should make everyone a what? This should make everyone a believer. If you ain't believing now.
But you thought we was just talking, huh?
Yeah. Thought we were just copycatting. Can't make this up. I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. Got to go. Got to go. This is for someone. John, all right, man. My picture ain't even showing up on my thing. So
Yeah, we got to go. This is too much, man. This is too much. Yeah, you got to watch the whole replay.
Yeah, this we got to end on the lions on this track right here. We got to end on this one. This is for you, True Savage. This is for you, Fear Soul. This is for everyone in there. Let's get it. Original track. Let's get it. Come on.